Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from, or you might be watching the replay. I want to thank you for coming my way tonight, this evening, and thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of my weekly Step In, Step Out podcast. Every Monday at 6 p.m., I'll be hosting a live Step Out, Step In podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So please, those of you who haven't subscribed to the my YouTube page yet, I want to say that if you can do it, those of you who have already subscribed, thank you so much. But if you haven't done so yet, please check out my YouTube page, subscribe, and don't forget to hit on the notification bell. Also on Facebook, follow me, and on LinkedIn, follow me as well. And if you want to support this podcast, um, there's a link in there. Buy me a coffee. I'm a coffee lover. I love coffee. So buy me a coffee. Just about $5 to support this podcast. And tonight, um, it's episode 3. Let me start off by introducing myself again. My name is David Joe. I'm a pastor. I'm a person of faith. I am an author, a husband, a father to my wonderful and amazing biological and spiritual children. And I am a friend to many. And tonight, as I said, I'll be talking about knowing about your who. Last week in episode 2, I talked about your why. And why is a question that you ask when you want to get the understanding to a statement made or to a question. Asking why gives you a better understanding of who you are and how things work and operate. And so please check out the episode 2 on my YouTube page, David Joe, and let's go through it. And remember to comment on it. And in this episode, I will be dealing with your who. You know, Knowing your why will help you to navigate to know who you are. And as I said earlier on, as I'm a person of faith, so as a child of God, you belong to God's chosen family. And permit me to um, just quote some scriptures or read some scriptures to you. In First Peter chapter 2, and verse 9 from the New Living Translation version says that, but you are not like that. For you are a chosen people, you are a royal priest, a holy nation, God's very own possession. As a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for he called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. It is very important to know and understand who you are as a child of God, or who you are. More often than not, when people are asked who you are, or who we tend to focus on our achievements or on our status. But who you are is way beyond, is more than your status or your achievement. Many people have continued to look down on themselves and have considered themselves to be inferior. And sometimes they say to themselves that I don't amount to anything, which makes them think that they don't have anything to offer. But and I believe that, and I know that nobody is ever a mistake. Nobody is an error. Nobody was born as an experiment. God thought of you even before your grandmother and your grandfather came together, and even before your mother and your father came together. He had you on his mind. So you are someone who is so special in the eyes and the sight of God. Let people say whatever they want, but you are a chosen one. You belong to the royal priesthood. You are God's own very possession. And as a result, you can also show others the goodness of God. You know, and I love the last part of the scripture where it says that God has called out of darkness into his wonderful, other version says that into his marvelous light. You know, and 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 sometimes many people look at their backgrounds, and that is where and they look at it, and they see that that is where they are coming from, and or they look at their status in life based on their education to identify who they are. You know, when God had an assignment for Gideon to go deliver the children of Israel from the Midianites, he was found in a wine press threshing wheat. And in fact, Gideon was found at the wrong place at the wrong time doing the wrong thing. And Israel was at war and had been taken captives out of fear, and not and out of fear he was not placing himself at a position where God had seen him. He had disqualified himself. Gideon went into hiding. But when the angel of the Lord appeared to him, I love what he said. He called him a mighty man of valor, whichever way we pronounce it, you know. And 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 God looked beyond his fears. God looked beyond his limitations. God looked beyond where he had considered himself not to count or amount to anything. And God saw him as a hero in his sight. This backdrop of the story is referenced in Judges chapter 6 and verse 15. Now let's listen to what Gideon said when God appeared to him. He was trying to give all kinds of excuses. He was trying to disqualify himself. He said, "But Lord," Gideon replied, "how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least in my entire family." You know, Gideon is one of the persons in the scriptures in the Bible where, when the angel appeared to him, they didn't have to say "fear not," because he had already uh, uh, um, backslided. You know, anytime you read the scriptures, when angels appear to people, the first thing they will say, "Fear not." I don't know, but the presence of angels sometimes made people scared. But Gideon was the only one. You know, but when he said this to God, God, um, when the angel of the Lord had mentioned to Gideon that God was with him, he found and gave all kinds of excuses that he was the least in his clan. His clan was the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and he was the least in the entire family. So, placing himself at the bottom of the clan and the family, he was telling God that I don't qualify for this. But But God saw something more than what he saw in himself. God saw him as a mighty man of valor, someone who can conquer the enemies of Israel with not even with a lot of soldiers, but with 300 men fighting hundreds of thousands of other soldiers, you know. And he gave all kinds of excuses and why he was not a right fit for God's assignment because of where he came from. The tribe of Manasseh being the least and the least, and in his entire family he was the least as well. But God does not make us who we are based on where we come from. He makes us based on who we are in him. Let me put it that way. You know, and um you know, one of the things that Jesus also did was he never allowed where he came from to affect his ministry and his assignment on earth. You know, it was considered that nothing good ever came out of Nazareth until Jesus showed up. You know, Nathaniel asked this question: that can anything good come out of Nazareth? And Philip told him that come and see. So it doesn't matter where you're coming from. That doesn't make you who you are. But who you are in Christ is the most important thing. You know, I said that in 2020, I had the opportunity to write my first book, Step Out, Step In, which is currently on Amazon. And in and that is the podcast I'm doing live now. You know, and one thing I want to say to someone listening to me tonight, that if you can resign from giving all kinds of excuses, God will let you know who you are so you can step out and step in to God's given assignment for your life. You know, sometimes we give all kinds of excuses. We talk about where we're coming from, our race or accent and all that. But if we can refrain from giving all those excuses and know who you are, not where you're coming from, you know. And this is one thing that I know about God. He does not call the qualified who is unavailable. He qualifies the one that he calls and who is available. So as long as you're available, God will use you. You know, if God were to call the qualified who are not available, I believe that some of us wouldn't have had the opportunity to do what we're doing. But as we make ourselves available, God can always use you and make you know who you are. You know, understanding your why will help you to navigate to know your who. That is why I started with why. The episode 2 was your why. If you understand your why, it will help you navigate to know your who. Step out, step in to know and understand your who in order to live a very productive and a fruitful and fulfilled life. You know, one thing I also believe is everybody has a unique assignment. That is why you're so special. That is why you're so unique. That is why you're so amazing. That is why you're one of a kind. God had to custom make you. You are custom made, and there's never two of a kind of you anywhere because there's a particular and a unique assignment for you. So understanding your why, understanding your who will help you to fulfill this assignment, will help you to execute this assignment that God has for you. You know, so I want to encourage. Let's step out and let's step in, knowing your why, understanding your who, to execute every assignment, every unique assignment that you have to fulfill on this earth. Don't waste your life, don't waste your time. Don't live in regrets after the end of or the last stages of your life. There's something so amazing and unique for you to fulfill. You're loaded with so much. And I know that as you connect with God, He will help you to achieve it. So once again, thank you for listening to this podcast. As I said, every Monday at 6 p.m., I'll be coming your way. This is season 1, and next week we'll be looking at episode 4. But you can always go back to my YouTube page and listen to the other ones. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and share and comment. Comment, and let's see what we're doing. But just before I sign off, I just want to do this real quick. Just before I sign off, I just want to make mention of a few things here. Okay, so for a copy of my book, it's on Amazon.com just for $5.99. I always say that when you buy this, it's going to bless me, and I believe you'll be blessed as well. Right? And if you're within the Stafford, Fredericksburg, Quantico, Dumfries area in Northern Virginia, I want to personally invite you to All Nations Church, Virginia. If you're looking for a family-oriented, Bible-believing church, we meet every Sunday at 2 p.m. At 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, Virginia, and the zip code is 22554. Please, if you're coming, don't come alone. Invite another a family or friend. Let's come. Let's have a wonderful time of worship together. I can't wait to see you on Sunday at 2 p.m. And the address is 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, Virginia. I want to also introduce my spiritual father and my bishop, Dr. Frank Ofosuapia. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m., he hosts this Ambassador of Hope teachings. These are life-changing and destiny-shaping teachings that he brings our way. And he always tells us that this is not another church. And these are teachings that people pay thousands of dollars to go listen to. So every Tuesday on YouTube and Facebook, YouTube is Ambassador of Hope. On Facebook is Frank Ofosuapia, the official. Tune in every Tuesday. And I would say that you just test it. Just come on, listen to it, take notes. And these are, I said earlier on, this will shape your life. It will help you spiritually. It will help your personal life. It will help you in your career, your business, your education, and many more. And don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube page, The Ambassador of Hope. And
November 19th, 2022, in the state of Georgia, the Son of Hope, Prince Kissy, brings you the atmosphere of worship at All Nations Church, Carey's House, 781 Athens Highway, Loganville, Georgia, featuring the dynamic Tommy Favored, Reverend Denzel Prempeh, the sensational Nana Ajor. Also Pastor Joe Asma.
He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Hosted by the Son of Hope, Prince Kissy. These five are set to bring you a 5-star performance on November 19th, 2022 at All Nations Church Caris House, 781 Athens Highway, Loganville, Georgia. Hosted by the Son of Hope, Prince Kissy.
Alright, so it's really good to promote our own, and the Son of Hope Praise KC is hosting the Atmosphere of Worship 2022 at All Nations Caris House, Loganville, Georgia on Saturday, November 19th, 2022, and it starts from 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. And as you all saw, featuring our seasoned men and women of God, and these are true worshipers. Worship is what they do. And again, it's Reverend Joseph Asma from All Nations Church, New Jersey, House of Restoration, Reverend Denzel Premper, Tommy Favored, Nanajua, and of course, Phil Thompson. And on November 19th, all road leads to Atlanta, Georgia, or Loganville, Georgia, 5:30, and let's all be there. This is not a musical concert, it's a worship experience. You know, so let's be there to support. All right. So finally, I'll say again, thank you all so much for tuning into my live podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn, and share and comment as well. And if you want to support, just go click on the link below, which says "Buy me a coffee," and let's support this thing. And again, I say let's connect on Monday. So next Monday at 6 p.m. Let's connect. And until we meet again, have a wonderful, amazing, and a fruitful and productive week. See you again. Goodbye.